Hello, this is Ms. Morello for lesson 3-5, solving inequalities with variables on both sides. Alright, so this is the lesson just like 2-5. This is the one where I gave those 3 rules, or 3 steps rather. So step 1, get your variables together by adding or subtracting. Step 2, get your numbers together by adding or subtracting. And then step 3, multiply or divide. Those are the same 3 rules we are going to use for this. Okay. Again, sometimes you need to distribute or combine like terms before we start, but pretty much it's going to be the same thing. You're going to need to graph, so there's going to be less homework for these 2 sections because it'll take you a little longer to do the graph. Alright, so like I said before, step 1, let's get our variables together. So I have a positive 2m here, so I'm going to subtract 2m from both sides. Okay, and remember, there's my side. So when I'm talking about sides, left side, right side. So subtract 2m. So I'm left with 2m minus 3 is less than 6. I have a minus 3, so I'm going to end up adding 3, so I have 2m is less than 9. Divide both sides by 2, and I end up with m is less than 4.5. Okay, usually not decimals on here, but this one is. I'll tell you on the homework which ones are going to end up being decimals, so we won't have to worry about that. And then we have to graph this like normal. Graphing doesn't change. Alright, same thing here. So it says a minus 2t, I'm going to add 2t. So step 1, getting my variables together. So I'm going to end up with 7t. Step 2, get my numbers together. So it says plus 1, I'm going to subtract 1. Step 3, multiply or divide. It says 7 times t. I'm going to divide by 7. Divide by 7. So I end up with t is less than negative 1. Okay, same thing as 2-5. Not a whole lot changed. Something that did change is going to be, remember that negative rule, where if I have a negative with my as my coefficient, I'm going to end up needing to flip the sign. Okay, so like this one, I'm going to end up needing to flip the sign. So after I distribute, remember distributing, I distribute to both. So 5 times 2, 5 times negative r. 3 times r, 3 times negative 2. So after I distribute, I'm just going to rewrite this down here. So 10 minus 5r is greater than or equal to 3r minus 6. Okay, so just distributing there, 5 and 2 is 10, 5r. Okay, so after I distribute there, let's move this up now. Same 3 steps. So add or subtract. Let's subtract 3r here. Subtract 3r. Subtract 10. Subtract 10. So I end up with negative 5r minus 3r is negative 8r. Negative 6 minus 10 is negative 16. Remember to use a calculator so we don't get make these simple mistakes. And now I have a negative 8 times r. Remember, if you multiply or divide by negative, your sign's going to get flipped. So dividing both sides by negative 8, dividing both sides by negative 8. So I have r. It was a greater than sign. Now it's going to be a less than sign. Still equal to, that doesn't change. Negative 16 divided by 8 is positive 2. Alright, another thing that gets added is the no solutions or the many solutions. Remember, we talked about this last time. It's going to be pretty much the same. So if it is true, it will be many solutions. If it is false, it will be no solutions. And what I mean by true and false, just like this. So we're going to solve it just like normal. And I'm going to get something that says -7 is less than or equal to 5. True or false? It is true. -7 is less than or equal to 5. So this is going to have many solutions. Okay, see, I would subtract 2x here. That would cross off. Subtract 2x here. That would cross off. So I'm really left with just this. Okay, kind of the same thing here. I would have 4y minus 4 is greater than 4y plus 2. Okay, 4y and 4y, they're going to cancel. So I'm really just left with -4 is greater than or equal to 2. Is that true or is that false? It's false. -4 is not bigger than 2. So it's going to be false. It is not true. So there is going to be no solution. Again, on the homework, I will tell you which ones are going to be regular answers and which ones will be no or many solutions.